TSUTigers.com with another Off the Grid here with freshman softball player Cameron Anderson. Cameron, where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, tell us some of the things about Indianapolis. Tell us about your home.
I really like the city. There's a part in Indianapolis called Broad Ripple, and there's a lot of stores and a lot of restaurants that we just like to go down there and hang out. It's a really nice environment, a really good atmosphere, a good group of people that live around that area, so it's really nice.
Okay, so now obviously Indianapolis, it can get really cold. Obviously during the summer it gets really hot and humid. Tell us a little bit about, the differences. What's it like?
Weather-wise, like right now it's like freezing, and everybody's all bundled up, and I see all my friends at home already wearing coats. And last winter we had snow. We had like the most snow I've ever seen since I was raised there. We had about 12 inches, and everything was all frozen over. We missed about 3 weeks of school. It was pretty bad. So being down here, it's really nice weather to me. It's nice and warm. Nothing too much to worry about.
Okay. And where'd you go to high school?
I went to Ben Davis High School.
Tell us a little bit about your school.
My school is really, really large. It's a school minority, so there's more blacks and Hispanics than whites. It's just really, really wide. Like, there's so many different people there, and like, there's really big cultural differences, and I really, really loved it there. And I went to school with all the same kids through elementary school and middle school, and then I went to the same exact high school, so it was really, really nice.
So now, kind of diving into that a little bit more, or, was it a large population that went from basically kindergarten all the way up, or was it, just a certain group?
Well, there was 2 middle schools, and there's a whole bunch of different, elementary schools. There's 7 or 8 elementary schools that all fed into Ben Davis, and I went to school with about 4,000 people.
Wow. So what you're saying is there's a lot of people out there that have got some nice embarrassing pictures of you from like 2nd grade and 3rd grade and all
More
that.
than likely.
But of course you've got it on the opposite side too, correct?
Yeah.
And in a sense, tell us about some of your favorite moments from high school.
We had a really big rival with a school that was on the northern side of Indianapolis, and one of my biggest memories and one of my greatest memories there was I led our cheer section, and our football team actually beat them, and we got to storm the field and celebrate and everything on their field, so it was a pretty big deal.
So you led the cheer section. Does that mean you're a little wild, maybe a little loud?
Yeah.
Very spirited?
Very.
And would people on your team now kind of describe you that way?
More than likely, they'd probably say I'm the goofiest kid, so yeah.
All right, that's always good to be. Tell us a little bit about your family.
My parents have been married 25 years, and I live with both of them, and I have an older sister who's 24. I'm really, really close with my parents. My sister's moved out, but when I was younger, she took really good care of me. Like, when my parents worked all the time, so she was always there for me, making sure I stay on the right path.
Okay. So obviously you were the youngest, so did kind of the same thing. Did you kind of get away with everything, or were you the spoiled one?
Yeah, I got away with a lot of stuff, so yeah.
Okay. And how'd that make your older sister feel?
I think she just kind of dealt with it. I mean, she's like the opposite of me. She's kind of shy, didn't play sports, and I'm loud and outgoing, so she just kind of got used to it, I think.
So now how often do you get to see her?
Not very often, honestly. I mean, whenever I go home, she'll usually stop by and say hi, but besides that, not very often.
Okay, so obviously coming up to school, it's kind of one of those feelings that you get to go back and you see a lot of family.
Yeah.
Okay. And those are some of the, kind of talk about some of your get-togethers with your families.
Whenever we go home, we're really big sports fans, so all the family's over to watch football and eat together and just have a good time. We have a lot of cousins that always come by, and my sister will be there.
Okay. Now, did either of your parents play any sports?
My dad played football and basketball.
Okay. Do you think you got a little bit of your competitiveness from him, or?
Yeah, it's all from my dad, not so much my mom.
Okay. And how did you get into playing softball?
I was actually forced to play Pee Wee softball when I was 4 by my mother. So I didn't really have a choice. I was kind of thrown out there. I didn't want to play. I was upset and crying, but she just made me stick with it. So it just became something natural to me.
Okay. And when did you, start realizing that you wanted to or even could play at the collegiate level?
I think when I was about 11 or 12, I got a new hitting coach, and I another woman had came over from the Olympic team in Taiwan, and she started working with me, and that's when I realized that I had more to come in the future with softball. And she made me believe in myself that I could play at the next level.
And now, you talk about, playing softball for us, since you were basically 4. Or were there any other activities or anything else that you did?
I played basketball from the time I was in 2nd grade up until 8th grade. And then transferring into high school, I just kind of decided I had to stick with one sport. Playing 2 would be too much. And trying to play AAU basketball and travel softball was a lot to overcome and deal with. So I chose one sport, just played through high school.
Okay. Were there any other activities that you did?
Was in the band in middle school. I played the alto sax. I was also in jazz band. And I also led our spirit section in high school.
So why did you stop playing the alto sax?
Once again, our marching band is really competitive in high school, and I just knew I wouldn't have enough time to be in band and also play softball.
Is it something that you can still do though? And
I haven't picked up a saxophone in a really long time, so probably not.
Tell us a little bit about how you came about Tennessee State University.
I was looking at schools, and I have an older cousin who plays volleyball here, and I heard that she was going there, and it was really ironic because it was one of the schools I had been looking at, and I decided that I would go to a camp and see how things went. So that's when I really became interested, and I liked the environment, I liked the school, and like the size of it. So that's when I really started to like it a lot.
Now, who's your older cousin?
Ariana Anderson.
So you talk about, you having your spirit and kind of loud. Is that kind of something that runs? Because she's very high energy and very loud and very...
She's loud too. She's very outgoing, outspoken.
Okay. So who's got the more energy between the two?
I'd have to say Ari. Yeah, Ariana has a lot of energy.
And who's got the most intensity of the two?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to decide on that one.
Okay, now you are familiar that Ariana loves to slap the floor as hard as she can on certain kills.
True.
Do you do anything like that on the softball field?
Not so much.
Okay. All right. Tell us what your major is.
Business administration.
And what would you like to do with that?
I'd eventually like to own my own business. I'd actually like to own my own sports facility in the community in Indianapolis for like younger kids.
Okay, so you like actually working with kids in that aspect?
I do. I'd really like to coach and help them develop into good athletes.
Do you currently do any like camps or clinics or anything working with the youth? And
when I was back at home, I actually gave hitting lessons with my hitting coach and helped younger kids.
How have you enjoyed Nashville since you've been here?
I like it. The southern culture is really different than like northern, so people are really welcoming and really kind.
And what about Tennessee State? Can you give us a favorite moment or something, your favorite thing about Tennessee State University?
I think my favorite moment was just getting to meet all the girls, like sitting down realizing I was actually in college and I had all these new teammates to get to know and to play with this season. It was really like a big step for me. It's my most memorable moment so far.
Okay. And what inspires you?
I was really inspired by 2 girls from Taiwan. I traveled to play in Taiwan. I played softball there. And the next summer they came back and they lived with me over the summer. And just realizing how dedicated they were to their sport and how different it was there really inspired me to just keep pushing through things. Like when things get hard, that there's other people out there working just as hard, if not harder than me, and have more like to work for and less at home than what I do. So it makes me really inspired to just keep pushing through.
Now, obviously you said that you had the spirit, you had all that kind of stuff. What are the things that make you laugh? What are the things that make you go?
Just about, everything. I can laugh about a lot of stuff. Even when I'm upset, I just find a way to laugh things off and just push through it. So yeah, I'm generally like a happy person all the time.
Is there anyone on the team that just makes you laugh, or?
I have to say Mo, Jasmine Mashin, so we laugh together all the time.
Okay. And so what's your favorite dance move?
My favorite dance move is the Shmoney dance. It was a song that came out over the summer, and it's just something I like to do. So yeah.
And you just break into it at any time?
Not any time.
So like right now, you're gonna break out into it?
I can't right now. Catch me another time.
All right, we'll definitely get you on that. So. Well, Cameron, we definitely appreciate you sitting down and talking with us, and we wish you the best of luck here at Tennessee State University.
Thank you.